Hello everyone, let's start this game in earnest. So after picking up Gandalf, we are trying to fight stop the messenger orcs from reaching Saruman. They're probably going west, so let's head this way. Let's see what's over here. Okay. Trio of Uruk-hai. I guess they join our party. Okay. Confident, isn't he? But the new people in our party, I actually do think the two of them can take on some Uruk-hai. They don't have any skills, but they do have a sword and chainmail each. But we probably should get them home. Like in the last game, I'm going to try to avoid doing too many of the quests that give boosts to your stat points. After all, if we do them now, we won't be able to give the stats to, say, Merry and Pippin, or to other people that we recruit. I suppose, paragraph 93. You have come to the ruins of an old village, a village which was not ruined until quite recently. In some places, embers of destruction still smolder. There are many freshly dug graves scattered throughout the area, wooden markers carved with runes in the tongue of the Rohirrim. As you approach, you feel the presence of the survivors. It's not pleasant. They stare at you like you've committed some heinous crime and say nothing. Their silence is a greater condemnation than anything they could say. They're gathered around a woman dressed in armor, carrying a spear. She's middle-aged. Her features must have been very beautiful once, and still they might be if they were not hardened by bitterness. I am Leofin, leader of the Rohirrim of Estermet, she says. If you've come to recruit us to your cause, you can go elsewhere. All have called on us for aid, and long we gave aid freely, but in our time of need none would give us any. Until a were-guild is paid to compensate us for our losses, we shall aid no one. Okay. I want to keep the armor, give some to Gandalf. I was going to say that, they never did make a sequel. Return of the King one was intended, but it never actually happened. But I still would like to play kind of with the same logic as before, that we are going to pretend to try to min-max a party as strong as possible to transfer over, with some assumptions as to who would be sent over. But I think I missed something. I'm just going to backtrack a little bit. Yeah, here's where I wanted to go. I didn't bother to bring a shovel or a pick, but if you try to use one, it will not work. What instead you need to do is use counter magic. Yes, why would they do something like that? But anyway, let's take the healing potions. They're sort of like, healing draughts are sort of like food in that they heal you, but they're not limited to the once a day use that real food is. So I'm gonna hang on to it. Now, I'm not sure exactly what happens if we don't fight the messenger orcs, but I suspect it's bad. So I am going to do that before leaving the area, but then skip over pretty much all the quests before we come back here. He's here to mostly tell us what there is to do in the area. We will ignore him because, like I said, we are not in the business of doing quests right now. And it's like most RPGs where things just wait on your schedule. Oh, come on. Okay, good. We don't get any stat boosts for it, but again, I'm pretty sure you get problems if you don't kill the messenger orcs. So let's make our way to Edoras. In the books they rode there. It's actually fairly far from the Eves of Fangorn to the Rohirrim capital, but they don't really do riding like that in this game, so... What they really want is ride, I think. Let's try bravado. Maybe that'll help. Nope. I'm sure there's a way to slip past them. There is a quest in the earlier area that will give us the ride skill, which I think is somewhat intended to force our hand to do some of the side quests, but I'm pretty sure we can slip around them. Let's see. Hello, rider people. Okay. Cool. We do hop past them. Well, and now we're on Frodo and Sam. That is one of the more annoying things about this game, that it's very hard to kind of focus on one party's objectives. They were going towards the Black Gate. Can actually get quite close to it, although if we get too close, we get an instant game over. Okay. Let's hide before the orcs that are coming. Maybe an elven cloak would work better. Oh well, I guess we have to fight. There's quite a lot of them. Still, with our armor, they should have trouble hurting the hobbits, and I can always have Gollum run away if necessary. Down. 2 down. I'm just going to keep Gollum out of the line of fire. I do think it would be better / truer to the books if combat was a bit more rare and a lot more lethal. I mean, it was treated as a big deal in Moria when Sam kills a single orc in a confused melee. Here, the two of them are just mowing down orcs without trouble. Now, granted, I don't think they intended you to cheese as thoroughly as I've been doing. If you just start a new game, you have the same stats at the start of Fellowship, although Frodo and Sam, like, you'll have Sting in the Mithril Coat, so you've got some extra combat power, but I don't think they intended you just, oh, we'll just walk up and kill them all, taking 1 point of damage in return. Uh-oh. Ah. I hope I haven't messed things. That's one of the reasons I saved. This trigger is a bit tetchy. Yeah, something's not work. You're supposed to not be able to help him. You talk to him a few times and he'll give you a barrow dagger. It's not working. So let's get ourselves killed at the Black Gate and I'll load, because I did save before that. Yeah, so you can't beat the books that way. And we lose. So let's try that again. Okay, let's try sneak this time. I think we'll have to fight. With only 3 orcs, I think it's a bit safer to bring Gollum into the fray. Ooh, good shot. Let's try it now. Yeah, okay, it's working. That's high praise. Yarnur was a big warrior king, at least if you paid attention to the appendices. And we get another barrow dagger. We've got quite a collection at this point. Anyway, let's go do... I'm going to save just so I don't risk losing that progress. We'll get this again. So let's do what they did in the books and head towards Ithilien. Again, there's quests in the marshes, but I'm going to run over to Ithilien to get those, to recruit some people before we go back and do them. Yeah, let's send Gollum off. Okay. If we had Gollum, he could grab the fish, but we sent him off to find food, like fish. Dumb of us, wasn't it? Oh, I'm not sure what happened there. Not sure how he teleported. I had generally thought this game was less buggy than the first one, but let's see if charisma works. Yes, it does. So we have picked up an elephant with no explanation. He's slow, but he's got a ton of hit points and a huge strength, so he can stomp on orcs. Hi, Faramir. Let's try showing him... Let's use the file. That's like a nice holy object that bad guys wouldn't have. You know, for ages I thought it was just a floating head for Faramir, but you can sort of see he's wearing green against the green backdrop. Not sure what... Let's try just leaving. Yes, let's let him blindfold us. And we have now arrived in Henneth Annen, having picked up some new people. We've got Faramir, who has pretty amazing stats, actually. I think these are stronger than Aragorn's base stats from Fellowship, although not as strong as we've made him. And his 3 rangers, they have a variety of skills, mostly fighting with swords and bows. I just want to make sure everyone's weapons are lined up with their skills. So, like, he's good with swords, but not bows. He's good with bows, but not swords, so, you know, it works out. I'm going to give Herblore to the backup rangers. Again, I don't want to give a skill to someone who, quote-unquote, shouldn't have it. Okay. Nice to see they have a sink or something. If we go back here, we can talk with Faramir. A few torches cast a dim light on the glistening walls of the rock chamber. Many men are here, but they're leaving by 2s and 3s through a dark, narrow door on the side. On one side, the cave is filled with arms and victuals. Faramir says, at one time water flowed through this cave and out of the arch, but its course was changed further up the gorge by workmen of old, and the stream sent down in a fall of doubled height over the rocks far above. All waves save one were sealed against the entry of water or aught else. Now we shall feed you, and you may look around as you like. Food. Okay. And I guess we pick up Numenorian lore, but again, I'm not going to give it to any of the... He's already got it. He's already got it. Anborn will further his education. Paragraph 49. Faramir says, Boromir was Captain General of Gondor and our leader, his eyes watching you grow harder. Would you grieve to learn that Boromir is dead? You catch the look in his eye. Do you mean that he is dead? But he was alive and strong when we parted. How do you know the son of Denethor is dead? Night oft brings news to near kindred, 'tis said. Boromir was my brother. A shadow of sorrow passes over his face. You may remember that Boromir bore a great horn bound with silver. If it be blown at need anywhere in Gondor, its voice will not pass unheeded. 11 days ago I heard the blowing of that horn, dim as an echo in the mind. 3 nights later I sat on watch by Anduin Niles-Gileath, which our enemies now hold. I saw a boat of a strange fashion floating, with none to steer it. A pale light was round it. The boat was almost filled with clear water, and in it lay Boromir, my brother, dead. One thing only I missed, his horn. Boromir, I cried, whither goest thou, O Boromir? But the boat turned and passed glimmering on into the night. He has passed down from the river into the sea. The shards of the horn came severally to shore, and now lie in the lap of Denethor and Minas Tirith. Whoops. And another paragraph. In this recess at the back of the cave, partly screened by curtains, Faramir speaks of his late brother. I remember Boromir as a boy, and that it always displeased him that his father was not a king. How many hundreds of years needs it to make a steward a king if the king return not? Few years, maybe, in other places of less royalty, my father, Denethor answered. In Gondor, 10,000 years would not suffice. Alas, does that not tell you something of Boromir? Sam says, you're warm on the scent, if I may say so. Now, I watched Boromir and listened to him from Rivendell all down the road. It's my opinion that from the moment he first saw it, he wanted the enemy's ring. Then Sam turns white, then flushes scarlet. Oh, there I go again. Oh dear, oh dear. Faramir smiles a strange smile. The one ring, and Boromir tried to take it by force, and you escaped, and ran all the way to me. And here I have you, a host of men at my call, and the ring of rings. A pretty stroke, ha! He stands up, very tall and stern, his grey eyes glinting. You set yourself with your back to the wall, fumbling for your sword hilt. There is a silence, but Faramir sits down, laughs quietly, and suddenly speaks gravely. Alas for Boromir, it was too sore a trial, but I am wise enough to know that there are some perils from which a man must flee, and be comforted, Samwise, for it was safe to declare this to me, but to not even name this thing again aloud. Once is enough. Well, let's drag him back into the party. Okay. We do need to get Gollum back, and I'm sure if you've read the books, you remember this episode where they catch him fishing. Faramir looks out to the pale mists that shimmer in the great vale below. Far off in the west the full moon is sinking, round and white. Moonset over Gondor. Fair Ithel, as he goes from Middle-earth, is worth a few shivers. But look now what Anborn has spotted. He leads you to the edge of this high wet platform. Far below, the white waters swirl darkly about a deep oval basin. In the moonlight, a small frog-like figure climbs from the water up and up the bank. Silver glints in the moonlight. It is Gollum, caught fishing in the pool where none may come unbidden. Your gangrel companion slipped my keenest huntsman. Now he has dared to come to Henethanen, and fish from the pool may cost him all he has to give. Anborn has him at arrow point, but this is a harder matter than it seems. Shall we shoot? Nah. We do not want him shooting. We sent him to get food! Maybe we can have Sam play nice. I feel a little bad. Not much, though. Okay, good. We have all 4 of our men, and just let me double check to make sure that Gollum still has his stuff. Cool. We can never come back to Henethanen when you leave, so make sure you get everything, especially giving someone herb lore. We'll need it for a quest later on. I want to... Oh, what happened to our elephant? Let's see if we can find him again. Well, that makes me sad. I mean, granted, the elephant doesn't talk and doesn't have any skills, and he kind of sucks because he's so slow. But still... this is getting close to Osgiliath. There is one other person we can recruit in Ithilien if I can find him. Where is he? It's one of the quests in the area. There's this injured... Okay. Oh, I guess we're on to Merry and Pippin. But this video is about half an hour long. Well, we haven't gotten... Well, okay. This video is almost half an hour long, so I think this is going to be a good place to stop. I did want to show off Quickbeam, though. He's got a lot of hit points. He's got a massive strength, decent luck and dex. He has no items, and he's similar to like ponies and stuff. He cannot equip any item. Well, yeah, he can't equip items, and he generally can't use things. So here, let me just demonstrate. So we'll give him the torch. Is Pippin not using... he is using the shield. And we'll trade Merry. Merry will give him some red beans. So if we go to use and flip over to Quickbeam, we can use the items. But if we start with him, it can't use anything. And equipping never works for Ents. It just locks you out as soon as you get there. What that effectively means is that Ents can't use weapons or armor, but with their massive strength, one-shotting an orc is uncommon but not unheard of, and they'll usually hit for at least 12 with a punch, so they don't really need weapons. Anyway, I think this is a good place to stop, and next session we will do a lot of Fangorn, I guess.